Hello everyone, welcome back to today's story. In this episode, we follow Diep, a mother holding her world together after James suddenly disappears without a word. Left behind with little Nhi and the farm they once built together, Diep must face a truth she never imagined. Through every sleepless night, every broken promise, and every tender moment with her daughter, Diep learns what it really means to be strong, not for herself, but for the child waiting at the window for a father who never returns. Stay until the end, because this story isn't just about loss. It's about rebuilding, resilience, and how the smallest acts of love can fill even the deepest silence. And don't forget to subscribe to help us reach 10,000 subscribers. Your support means the world to us. The morning light drifts through the open window, spilling warmth across the small wooden table. Nhi sits there, red crayon in hand, tongue poking out in concentration as she colors a picture of a house, a sun, and 3 stick figures holding hands. Her childish voice rises as she calls out, "Mommy, this is us, and Uncle James." Diep pauses beside her, the sound of that name cutting through the peaceful air. She forces a soft smile and kneels down to look. "That's beautiful, sweetheart. You even drew the mango tree." Nhi giggles, eyes bright. "Uncle James said he'd hang a swing on it next time he comes." Diep nods slowly, trying to steady her breath. "It's been 3 weeks since next time." She wipes a speck of crayon dust from Nhi's cheek and rises, murmuring, "Let's see what he's up to, The phone feels heavier than it should. She dials his number, once, twice, until the sound of the cold, endless beep fills the kitchen. The subscriber is unavailable. Diep swallows, pressing the phone to her heart. "Maybe he's busy," she whispers, more to herself than to Nhi. "I'll call again later." But deep down, a hollow ache spreads quietly, like water seeping through cracked earth. James always called back, always sent a message. Now, only silence answers. The smell of noodles boiling brings her back to reality. She rushes to the stove, stirring quickly as steam rises, clouding her glasses. Behind her, Nhi's tiny feet patter across the floor, followed by a sudden shout. "Mommy, the chickens are digging the garden again." Diep darts outside, still clutching the ladle. The hens scatter as she waves her arms, muttering under her breath. The freshly sown seeds are half buried under scratches of dirt. She crouches down, sweat streaking her forehead, and sighs. James had promised to build a fence, to come back and fix it himself. Now, even the farm feels abandoned. "Come here, Nhi," she calls. "Let's eat before it gets cold." As they return to the house, a stray dog follows, its fur matted and eyes full of curiosity. Nhi beams. "Can we keep him, Mommy? Uncle James said he'd get me a puppy." The words hit Diep like a knife. She looks away quickly, pretending to be busy with the noodles. "We'll see," she says softly. "Eat first, okay?" Nhi hugs the scruffy dog as Diep sets a steaming bowl on the table. The scent of broth and herbs fills the room, but the food tastes hollow. Outside, the stray curls on the porch, and the sunlight glints on the empty road beyond. Diep's thoughts wander as she watches her daughter eat. She remembers James's laughter echoing across the yard, the way he rolled up his sleeves to plant trees with her, promising they'd harvest together. "I bought the land," he'd said proudly, "but you're the one who'll make it bloom." Now, it's just her and Nhi, and an empty promise drifting in the wind. By noon, the heat grows sharp and dry. Diep ties her hair into a bun, picks up a hoe, and heads into the field. Rows of pineapples and pomelos stretch endlessly, but all she sees are weeds choking the soil. The sound of cicadas hums thick in the air. She bends down, hands trembling as she pulls at the tangled roots. Her breath grows ragged. "How am I supposed to manage this alone?" she whispers. She stands, wiping sweat from her brow, and dials James's number again. This time, her voice quivers as she leaves a message. "James, it's me. The garden's too big. I tried, but I don't know how long I can keep it up. Please call back." Her words trail off into silence. Only the wind replies, rustling the leaves like quiet accusations. Diep sits down under a pomelo tree, her fingers still clutching the phone. For the first time, she lets herself imagine the worst. Maybe he's not busy. Maybe he's gone. Just gone. The thought drains all strength from her body. She leans back against the tree, eyes tracing the horizon where the sky meets the hills. The air smells of dust and citrus. "You promised," she murmurs, voice breaking. "You promised you'd never leave us." Hours pass. The light softens into late afternoon gold. Nhi's laughter drifts from the house as she plays with the stray dog. Diep forces herself to stand, picking up the basket and a knife. Work keeps her from falling apart. She climbs the rickety ladder, reaching for the biggest pomelo at the top. "Careful, Mommy!" Nhi shouts from below, clutching the basket. "Don't fall!" "I'm fine," Diep calls back, though her legs shake slightly. The fruit is heavy, pulling against her grip. With one twist, it snaps free, and she nearly loses her balance. Nhi gasps, her small hands tightening around the basket. Diep steadies herself, heart pounding. "Stay there, Nhi. Don't come up here." The girl nods, eyes wide. When Diep climbs down, she slices the pomelo open with trembling hands. The air fills with a burst of sweet fragrance. "Taste it," she says, handing a piece to Nhi. Nhi bites into it and grins, cheeks puffed. "It's so sweet." Diep smiles faintly, tasting her own piece. The sweetness hits her tongue, then fades into a quiet ache that fills her chest. She watches Nhi spin among the trees, laughing, barefoot in the dirt. And for a brief moment, everything feels okay again. But then Nhi slips on the red slope. Diep's heart lurches. She drops the knife and lunges forward, catching her just in time. The basket tips, fruit rolling down the hill. "I told you to stay still," she scolds, voice trembling. "I just wanted to help." Nhi sniffles, clutching her neck. Diep hugs her tightly, tears spilling down her cheeks. "I know, baby, I know." The sun lowers behind the orchard. They sit there together, silent, surrounded by fallen fruit glowing softly in the light. Diep wipes her face and forces a shaky smile. "Come on," she whispers. "We'll pick them again tomorrow." As she stands, her gaze drifts across the wide field James once called their dream. Now, it's her burden and her test. She lifts the basket, heavier than before, but her steps are steadier. For Nhi's sake, she will keep going. For Nhi, she will build the future James promised. The phone remains silent in her pocket, but inside her heart, something shifts. Maybe he's not coming back. maybe she doesn't need him to. Because the only promise that truly matters now is the one she makes to herself. To keep this home alive, no matter who leaves. Night drapes softly over the small farmhouse, wrapping the fields in silence. The crickets sing beneath the stars, their sound blending with the faint rustle of wind through the pomelo trees. Inside, a single bulb glows weakly above the wooden table. Diep sits there, elbows resting on the surface, a pile of bills spread before her. Nhi sleeps on the nearby couch, her small chest rising and falling, one hand still clutching the dog's fur. Diep looks at her daughter, exhaustion written in every line of her face. She picks up her phone again. No new messages, no calls. Her thumb hovers over James's number, but she doesn't press it this time. What was there left to say? She's left 10 voicemails, each one a little weaker, a little more hopeless. She exhales slowly and sets the phone down. The wind whistles faintly through the cracks in the wall. Somewhere outside, a branch taps against the window rhythmically, like a heartbeat reminding her of everything still unfinished. Diep rises and steps to the door, opening it quietly. The scent of earth greets her, sweet and heavy after a long day of sun. The sky is endless and dark, a vast emptiness that mirrors the ache in her chest. "Where are you, James?" she whispers to the night. No answer, only the lonely chorus of crickets. She walks to the small shed by the garden, lantern in hand. The door creaks open, revealing baskets of harvested fruit, stacks of tools, and a dusty pair of gloves James once left hanging on a nail. She stares at them, fingers brushing against the rough leather. For a moment, it feels like he's still there, about to walk in, teasing her for being up too late. But that illusion shatters as quickly as it forms. The gloves are cold, lifeless. Back inside, Diep sets down the lantern and pulls out an old notebook, the one where she and James used to jot down plans, how many pomelos they'd sell, how many pineapples they'd plant next season. His handwriting fills the first half of the book, neat, confident, full of purpose. Her own writing continues after that, sloppier, scattered, words blurring where her tears once fell. She flips through the pages, stopping at a line James once wrote. "When the fruits ripen, we'll build the new house here, big enough for all three of us." Diep stares at it for a long time. Then she closes the notebook gently, holding it against her chest. In the silence, the sound of soft whimpering pulls her back. Nhi tosses in her sleep, murmuring, "Uncle James, wait for me." Diep's throat tightens. She walks over, tucking the blanket around her daughter and brushing her hair from her face. "Sleep, sweetheart," she whispers, her voice barely steady. "Mommy's here. Always." For the rest of the night, Diep can't bring herself to sleep. She sits by the window, watching the stars blur and fade into dawn. By morning, fog rolls low over the fields, silvering the leaves. The rooster's crow echoes faintly in the distance. Diep lights the stove, her movement slow but sure. She slices leftover pomelo into small pieces for Nhi's breakfast, humming softly under her breath. The child stirs, eyes half open. "Mommy, is Uncle James coming today?" The question lands heavy, but Diep smiles, hiding the sting. "Maybe not today, my love, but you still have Mommy, don't you?" Nhi nods drowsily, rubbing her eyes. "And the puppy." Diep chuckles, even as her eyes glisten. And the puppy, she agrees. After breakfast, they step outside together. The field glistens with dew, and the air smells of citrus and damp soil. Nhi runs ahead, chasing butterflies while the dog bounds happily beside her. Diep watches, feeling a quiet strength take root within her. She walks toward the far end of the orchard, where the weeds grow thickest. She grips the hoe, her palms already blistered, and begins clearing the ground. With each swing, she feels the weight of her sadness turning into something else: determination. Every drop of sweat is a silent declaration. You left, James, but we're still here. Hours pass. The sun climbs higher, scorching her shoulders, but she doesn't stop. When Nhi calls for water, Diep smiles and waves. Go inside. Mommy's almost done. By noon, she stands amid the cleared patch, breathing hard. The field looks different now, tidier, more alive. She wipes her forehead and whispers, "See that, James? I did it myself." As if in response, a warm breeze stirs the trees, carrying the scent of ripe fruit. Later that afternoon, Diep brings a few pomelos to the local market. The shopkeeper, a kind older woman, greets her with a knowing smile. "You came alone today, Diep? No husband?" Diep pauses, eyes flicking down. "Just me and my daughter," she answers lightly, setting the fruit on the scale. The woman nods slowly. "You're strong. Not everyone can handle a farm like that on their own." Diep smiles faintly. "You just do what you have to." She walks home with a small bag of groceries, the coins jingling softly in her pocket. The road feels longer than usual, but also strangely peaceful. When she reaches the house, she finds Nhi sitting on the porch, drawing again. This time, there are only two stick figures, Diep and Nhi, standing under the sun, with the puppy by their side. "Where's Uncle James?" Diep asks gently. Nhi shrugs. "He went far away, but Mommy's here. That's enough." The simplicity of the words catches Diep off guard. She kneels beside her daughter, voice trembling. "Yes, sweetheart," she whispers. "That's enough." The day drifts toward evening. They share dinner, simple rice, vegetables, and slices of pomelo. Nhi talks about the dog, the butterflies, the new seedlings they planted. Diep listens, smiling, letting the sound of her daughter's laughter fill the space's silence once occupied. When the stars return that night, Diep steps outside once more. The gloves still hang in the shed, swaying slightly in the wind. She looks at them one last time, then closes the door. From now on, she decides, she won't wait by the phone. She won't measure her days by someone else's promises. She'll live. She'll grow. She'll rebuild. The moonlight spills across the orchard, silver and soft. Somewhere, far away, James may still be walking under the same sky, but that no longer matters. Because here, under this roof, on this soil, Diep and Nhi have everything they need to begin again. Diep turns back toward the house, her silhouette framed against the glow of the lamp inside. Nhi's laughter rings out once more, bright and unbroken. And for the first time in weeks, Diep feels no ache, only the quiet certainty that life, even after abandonment, still has its own way of healing.